Hi, welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love and care, and becoming your best self. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about the death and rebirth process when you are becoming a new version of you. And not a lot of people talk about this. And when they do, they make it sound like it's way more intense and dramatic than it actually is, right? So I just want to talk about different things that happen on your healing journey. And that is, the death and the rebirth process. But here it is, right? It's not scary. It's not dark as it sounds. And it's definitely not something that you should fear. It's simply a part of becoming who you were meant to be. When we're growing and we're moving into a new season of our lives, we naturally have to let go of the old versions of ourselves. And I want you to really sit back and think about that for a moment. Your old self wasn't bad. She wasn't wrong, and she wasn't a failure. She was simply a version of you that was operating from what she knew at the time. But she was also a version of you who had limiting beliefs, who doubted herself, who carried wounds, and who was afraid of stepping into her own power. And that version of you cannot go where the new version of you is going. So that's where the death part really comes in, right? It's a shedding process of shedding your old self, releasing that old version of you. And, you take a deep exhale and say, thank you, but I'm ready for more. And as we grow into new timelines, we become higher versions of ourselves because we change our thinking patterns and we stop seeing ourselves through rose-colored glasses or even, survival mode. What we start seeing is our patterns clearly. We recognize what's been holding us back, and we become aware of the beliefs that we inherited, the wounds that we have carried, and the fears that we have clung onto. When that awareness hits, that's the rebirth, because once you see something, you can't go back and unsee it, right? It's the moment you realize, I don't have to live like this anymore. I don't have to think like this, and I don't have to carry what isn't mine. So this shift is shifting you into a new level of consciousness, a higher consciousness that opens a door to a higher timeline for yourself. So now I'm going to be honest with you. We're going to talk about a little bit of the process of letting your old self go, right? The process can feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially in the beginning. It's not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're leaving behind a version of yourself that feels familiar. So that could be a little tough piece of it that, you're like, whoa, sometimes you want to hold on to that because you're familiar with that, right? You love to cling on to what is familiar, no matter if it is good or bad. All of that, she was with you through everything, the pain, the trauma, the heartbreaks, and the disappointments. She learned how to survive in ways that she kept you safe at times. So letting her go can feel like losing a part of your identity. But here's the beautiful part of this. The more you go through the process, the easier it becomes. The first time feels like a shock. The second time feels like a stretch. But by the time you get to the 10th time, it just feels like an evolution at that point. So one thing that has helped me in this process is writing myself a love letter, telling her, thank you. Thank you for everything that you did to get me here. Thank you for surviving. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for trying the best with what you knew at that time. Tell her that you love her, give her a big hug, and tell her that she can rest now. Tell her that you are ready to take over from here with more confidence, more clarity, and more strength. And, the more you make her feel comfortable about this, the easier she will be to say, okay, you know what, you've got this, right? But if she feels unsafe in the process, she may cling on a little tighter and not wanting to be released, okay? So When you're done with that process, you can burn the letter, you can rip it up, you can bury it, or you can even simply just throw it away, right? You can rip it up and throw it away. And it's not like a dramatic ending, but this is a symbolic release. Writing it all out, getting it all out of your system, and then throwing it out and saying, you know what, this part of me is done. You can start, stepping into the new identity, which is the rebirth era, right? This is where you start thinking differently. You start showing up differently. You start saying yes to the things that the old version of you would have been terrified of saying yes to. And you start choosing yourself in ways that you have never before. So rebirth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming who you truly were beneath all of the layers of the pain, fear, and conditioning. It's remembering your power. So the next time that you feel that you are actually like losing yourself, just remember you're not. You're transforming. You are stepping into a higher version of you, one that aligns with your worth, your dreams, your healing, and your growth. So take a deep breath and say, it's okay. Because this is the death and the rebirth process. It's not scary. It's not dramatic. It's just evolution. So if this resonated with you, comment below. I am ready to release my old self. And let's take the next step together. I'm becoming the better version of you, raising our consciousness, getting on higher timelines, and keep on becoming our dream woman. So I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.